So I would like to welcome to the stage our next Story Slam performer. Please welcome Barbara Lipke.
I want you all to close your eyes for a minute and go back to the Victorian era, which is about the time that I was 17. I was an underage junior hostess at the original storyteller, the original stage door canteen in the basement of the Paramount Theater on West 44th Street in New York. They wanted people 18 and over. I was not quite 17, and I was innocent, in spite of the fact that my mother had written a book called Controlled Fertility, an evaluation of birth control, very boring, lots of tables and footnotes and things like that. And there was a very strict rule. You could not go out with anybody you met at the canteen. And you weren't supposed to make any arrangements to meet them later at some nearby spot. Well, I was 16 going on 17. And, you know, there they were. I mean, they were gorgeous, some of them in their uniforms. And I met, I guess I met the first guy at a bar nearby, and I hadn't been there very long when they were passing around the table a piece of paper, and they gave it to me, and it was the filthiest thing I had ever seen. And I was outraged, and I got up and I left. And they said, oh, we thought this was a good way, and I just, you know, I took the trolley home, all the way up Broadway to 84th Street, walked across the 2 blocks to Riverside Drive, into the house and into bed. The next time, I met a tall, good-looking sailor. He was about 6'7", and even in my spike heels, which I can't do anymore, I came up to about his waist. And he had the same idea. So that didn't work either. About this time, my brother brought home a friend from camp. He was the only friend he ever brought home who was, he treated me like a person, you know. And anyway, this tall, and then I met a soldier. He was, I liked that. I mean, he was a really nice guy. And we corresponded, and he was he was wounded in a battle, in the Battle of Aachen during World War II, way back, and was shipped home and came to see me. And I invited him to my prom, my junior prom in college. And before he came to the prom, he didn't send me flowers. He sent a dozen long-stemmed red roses to my parents with a card that said, for being Bobby's parents. And my parents showed up and said, well, we're expecting an announcement. And I said, I guess so. But it turned out that he wasn't marrying me or anybody else. He became a priest. So that's twice. I fell in love and didn't marry, thank goodness. And eventually, this friend of my brother's who treated me like a decent person asked me if I would marry him. And I said yes. And it was a good idea. I had 35 and a half years of very happy marriage. And there are 4 kids, and I can't tell you how many grandkids and grandchildren there are, because there was great-grandchildren too.